Schwartz here with Marty Music. Welcome to another episode of Riff Theory, where I take iconic guitar riffs, and I've already taught them on my YouTube channel, but now I'm going to talk about the secret sauce and, what's going on to make it so awesome. Why do our ears love this riff? Why do we love this riff? And hopefully we can extract some of those elements for our own creative purposes. So the riff master himself was Jimmy Page. Led Zeppelin has some of the most classic riffs of all time. Thought I'd start with one of the best riffs of all time on guitar, which is Whole Lotta Love. Pretty simple repeating riff, but quite amazing, quite effective. Also definitely has a little secret sauce. I've talked about it before, but I'm gonna break down all the theory right now. First and foremost, like so many classic riffs, it's the minor pentatonic scale. This particular song and riff, Whole Lotta Love, is the E minor pentatonic scale. And I've taught this thing before called the ultimate E blues run. It fits in that as well. So many riffs are in there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna be in this classic box position. I already have a lesson on the song and the solo on Marty Music here. I wanna talk about the elements. So we've got the root, the low E, which is kind of like the best unless we're in drop D or drop C. The lowest note we have on the guitar is usually the most powerful for our riff writing. This particular riff is just the pentatonic. Just like that, the 7th fret of the E, 5th fret of the A. So that's just all in that. Now, like any good riff, mix that box with a chord. He mixes it with a power chord. Right? But the secret sauce and the theory term that I will use too, intervals as well as dissonance. And what's so cool about guitar that we don't have on, let's say, a piano is that we can bend the notes a little bit out of tune or even bend it from one note all the way up to another note. Now, what's so cool about Whole Lotta Love, and it's almost subliminal, but there's a little dissonance in there. Dissonance is like two notes that are like dark or clash. Like here's some dissonance. Pretty obvious, right? As opposed to something like this. That sounds a lot cleaner, like the vibrations of the frequencies. Dissonance is when we have that clashing in the sound waves. So what's going on though is when we play that E minor pentatonic, there's this D note in there. That's that 5th fret A string. That's called the 7th. So there's two things about that. One is this blues element, which is bending the note. Microtonal bends on the 7th. That's where the expression is. So watch me do that again. Instead of just 5 to 7, what I'm gonna do is just slightly bend 5th fret A string. I'm not bending it up a half step. That would sound like this. But we're not doing that. We're doing it just a hair. You don't want to hear it go back down. And when you hear that a little bit up and then the next note up, which is the root, the E note, it sounds like more like the human voice. Now, it works great on the minor third as well, which would just be right here. So we've got this little microtonal bend, the term interval, the sound of distance between two notes. This interval is interesting. It's actually, we're going to talk about unison, which is just the same note. So a D note. but we have that open D string. So just like when we're tuning, although most people use a tuner nowadays, but unison, a D note right here on the 5th fret A string, and then the open D string. So what's cool is if you let that open D ring out, but then you do that microtonal bend, so for us, we're gonna have to do it up. So you still have the original D that's not being microtonally bended. And so then you start to get dissonance. And then a satisfying resolution when it goes back to the octave of E. I hope you guys enjoyed that riff theory. I'd love to hear from you on various riffs you'd like to see me break down this way. Also, let me know other songs that use dissonance. You know, another one that comes to mind is the very beginning of Purple Haze. So let me know that in the comments as well. Of course, if you haven't, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And I've got tons of links of helpful bonuses and resources for you down in the description below. So thank you for that extra support. Thanks for watching Riff Theory every Saturday from here to eternity. See you guys again. Take care.